Everyone has come to look at this. Every builder, every man and his dog, and been scared off for one reason or another. Just standing on the section we locked in unconditional. Hey, I'm Josh, a builder here in Wellington, New Zealand, and the video you're about to watch is something we've put together to show my personal experience of building, but using it to give you an example of what you can expect when you go through the building process yourself. Back to the video. So yeah, let's talk about the section today. 1600 square meters in a nice suburb in Upper Hutt, but it's a tough site and it's been on the market for 6 years. 6 whole years. I'm pitching it as the section that no one wanted. Everyone has come to look at this. Every builder, every man and his dog, and been scared off for one reason or another. The site's got a slight slope. This is exaggerated, that's what it's really like. Half of it's covered in bush that we can't touch. There's a drain running all the way down the side that we can't build over. This driveway runs all the way up the side to get to that house, which chops into our building space even more. This is our protected totara tree right at the back of the property. Although it's on the rear boundary, what was already a tight building site, this is eating into even more. But it does have an amazing north facing view and surprisingly captures a lot of sun during the day. It's the section that no one wanted. Out of the 1600 square meters, there's a tiny sliver of 200 square meters at the very back of the site that we can build on. The waratahs here mark out the corners of the house, so we got the very front corner here, front corner there, edge of the garage, back corner of the house, and all the way up there, the rear corner. So we definitely know we can get a house in here, and we are working on plans. I do have a copy of the plans, which I'm finalising this week with the designers. I've sold and built 28 homes in the last 3 years, and Prime Designs has drawn the plans on 25 of those. It's fair to say they are my preferred company to work with when it comes to plans. So naturally, the very first thing I did was got Luke from Prime on site, and we talked about what we could do. We also talked thoroughly about what we couldn't do because of the right-of-way, easements, protected tree, slope, etc, etc. What I liked about working with Luke at Prime is that he helped clarify what we're actually trying to achieve. You know, it's easy to come into a process like this with heaps of ideas in your head and got a Pinterest board full of amazing things, but then the rubber hits the road and reality sets in and you've got to start making it happen, and you've got some upper limits of budget, you got some constrictions around site, and so Luke helped us put that all together and create something that we're proud of. And it took 4 swipes at it. You know, the first plan was quite a rough sketch. We took that away and we went back to site and we talked about it. It seems like most videos these days are brought to you by Squarespace. This one's brought to you by your place. Basically, I run a building company here in Wellington. If you're thinking of building, hit us up. We would love to take on your project. Anyway, back to the video. So downstairs we're going to build a basement garage which makes the most of the natural flow of the land, and next to that we're going to build a studio, and then we're going to have the main house upstairs, all one level. Upstairs will be a pretty normal 3-bedroom 2-living house. We really wanted to make the most of the orientation of the section and capturing that north facing sun. We've got 2 large outdoor spaces, both north facing, both will get that midday sun right through to early evening. So yeah, that's what we're planning to build, and that is a result of the initial concept phase with Prime Designs. We are also well and truly through the working drawings for building consent. We've been making decisions around the best way to put those drawings together to really make the build as smooth as possible. Morning, just to the section with the boys. My very first job, joy to the world, I get to mow the lawns. There's quite a few of them, it's quite long, it's going to take a while. Last week I had a run-in with the lawnmower versus foot. Obviously the lawnmower won, although the doctor said it's one of the better cases of lawnmower versus foot that he's seen. You know, even though I've been through this quite a few times now, I still found myself surprised at how long things take and how many things you have to line up, and also how many decisions you need to make so early on before you can even see or touch anything on site. You're deciding down to some pretty fine details about products you're going to use, how it's going to look, and you have to get that all on the plans. We forgot about like lead times with people like engineers and pre-nailers, and how, you know, a couple of days delay here just has a flow-on effect. Plans are ready to go in. Look at this stack of paper that for every single consent that you submit, you have to include probably about 6 trees.
Lovely.
So you probably don't need anything else, it's all there?
No, just all that, and I'll get that through to the team.
Cool, thank you.
Wonderful.
Disclaimer, this is based on my area and my experience. Yours may differ. The building consent allows the owner or the owner's agent to carry out the building work in accordance with the plans and specifications approved by the Building Consent Authority. Councils grant building consent applications when they are confident your proposed work will meet the requirements of the building code. They want to make sure your build will stand the test of time and remove their liability if it doesn't. Okay, so it's pretty obvious that early on you need to engage a design firm such as Prime Designs. Prime Designs will help you work through all of these decisions and put together your plans. But one thing people so often forget to do is engage their builder right at the start. You see a lot of people go through the process, they do the plans, they get consent, and then they go off to a builder all excited. Yay, look at my consent, I'm ready to go. And then the builder will say, cool, that's going to cost twice as much as you thought it did because we're doing XYZ, when actually we could just do this and remove those costs. Or if we'd use this product instead of that product, it would be half the time. And so especially if you're on a time constraint or a budget constraint, let's face it, most of us are, engage your builder early on in the process. Toadra tree, bless its soul.